Side quests. Love them or hate them, they are in every game now. Phantasy Star 4 was the first game I ever played that had them, unless you count getting the Excalibur in Final Fantasy 1 as a side quest, which I guess it is. Anyway, Phantasy Star 4 introduced this concept to me in the form of the Hunters Guild missions. Alice Brogwin and Chaz Ashley, who are on a mission from the Hunters Guild to investigate some strange goings-on. And well, one thing leads to another, and Phantasy Star 4 happens. But you never officially stop being in the guild. So as you reach further and further in the game, the guild will offer you missions with cash prizes. Some give you enemies to defeat, others give you people to help, and all of them add a fun flavor to the game. I'm not going to be rating these on much criteria, mostly just how much fun I find them to be, or how much extra flavor they add to the game. So let's dive in. Mission 1, the Ranch Owner. You'd think the first mission would be easy, but this one might be the hardest in the game. Makes you wonder how strong the average hunter must be if this is seen as an easy mission. We need to get some of these hunters to help us stop Zio. A ranch owner has made a request of the guild to help him deal with the sandworms at his ranch. They've gotten too big. This shouldn't be too much of a problem. We meet the rancher, walk into his field, and then, oh my god, we are face to face with an enormous worm. Is the guild trying to thin its ranks by sending us on this mission? This worm can one-hit any of your characters, save Grizz if it lands a crit, and it's got enough HP to make you wonder if it will ever die. But when it goes down, your reward will be all the XP you can handle. Oh, and the 5,000 Mesta from the guild for taking it down. A fun encounter that, while a little light on story, is probably exactly what you'd expect a legendary hunter mission to be. Mission 2, Tinkerbell's Dog. There are two types of guild quests. One where you take your weapons and fight through enemies, and others where your social skills are put to the test. This is the latter. A family in our hometown has lost their dog, and asked the guild for help finding it. As the lady says, this doesn't sound like a job for hunters, but we are here to help, and we take it on. Where is this dog? Well, the family can't find him in town, and all we have to go on is that he is fat and likes treats. But not just any treats. Shortcakes from an extremely shady and hidden bakery. Hooray, old school game design. Anyway, somehow Rocky and his short, fat little legs got all the way to Monson, a town we couldn't reach unless we had a special vehicle. How did he get here? We will never know. Anyway, feed him the cake and we take him home. We get some victory music, and the family is overjoyed. I know the 2,000 Mesta reward is weak, but bringing a smile to a little girl's face counts for something. This one will get placed into good. Mission 3, the Missing Student. A student has gone missing from the dorms in Piata, and we've been tasked to find her. Yep, it's another fetch quest, only this time it's for a person. We meet the owner of the dorms, and he tells us this girl was obsessed with religion and just up and left. He also wants this whole thing kept on the down low, so it doesn't negatively impact the Academy's sterling reputation. You remember that town that worships Zio? I bet she's there. And she is, as we find her in the church. It doesn't take much to convince her to leave, but when we actually try to leave, she passes out from hunger. We've got to get this lady something to eat. But what would she want? Enter the Baymare Gift Store, a store that appears to sell only items useful for guild quests. We buy a Parola mate and feed it to her, and roll the victory music as she's back to health. This one is worse than the Rocky quest, cause at least Rocky was cute. This one's gonna end up just in fine. Mission 4, Fisher of Fear. Oh no, Talus, a child from the town of Munson, has fallen in a hole in the ground that was opened during an earthquake. His parents would dive in to help him, but there are strange monster sounds coming from the hole. That's why they hired us, the hunters. As we dive in, we find an underground cavern and lots of roaming ooze. The bad news? We find Talus's shoes. Then we find a large ooze. Could this thing have eaten the child? Before our bad thoughts can add up, the ooze attacks, and we defeat it fairly easily. Then boom, Talus pops out and he's saved. He was eaten, but not fully digested. Unaware of the danger he was in, the boy runs off to play. While the story is better, the battle pales in comparison to the sandworm. Another thing that I think that really hurts this mission is that I am usually over-leveled by the time I get around to doing it. It unlocks while you are on Desolus, another planet, so you won't get to it soon enough to do it with a proper level. Still though, I'd rank this one as good. Saving a child is probably more important than saving a dog. Mission 5, the Stain in Life. 50,000 Mesta. That's how much a father in Uzo is willing to pay the guild to find his 2 missing daughters. He must miss them an awful lot. But first, where the hell is Uzo? After navigating the seas, we come to Uzo and immediately find out why the daughters left. There is nothing to do in this town. The mom says they left town to go shopping at the market, which must mean the large market shop in Ido. So back to our hometown we go. Earlier in the game, we talked to 2 girls worried they had spent too much money, and when we go to check on them, they are no longer there, and if we check the local jail, we find them behind bars. Turns out, they couldn't pay for their rooms and got jail time, and their bail is, you guessed it, 50,000 Mesta. We pay up, and they return home. In the end, we get no Mesta, and no experience for this quest. I should be upset about it, but I find it kinda cute. Cute enough to put this one into good. Mission 6. The Dying Boy. A child is on his deathbed, and it's up to us to save him. The twist? When we reach him, his parents say the doctors have said he's fine. It's all in his head. The remedy? They've taken many vacations to Termi, and he's become obsessed with a statue of the hero Alice. If we could bring him a memento, that could really help him out. So we're off to the Baymare gift store again, this time to purchase a replica Alice sword. We come back, Chad gives the kid a skillful demo on how to use the sword and tells a tale about how the sword is filled with strength and courage. And bam! The child now recovers and we're heroes. While this isn't the most fulfilling mission, we do get to help out a child and that means something. Well, it should. This one is good and just above the state in life. Mission 7. Man with a Twist. This starts off as a fairly straightforward mission. We have been contracted to deal with some birds that are eating all of the town's crops. We meet our contact and get pointed to a cave where the birds are, and then we start chopping. Eventually, we come to the large bird in charge. He's grown fat from all the food he's been eating, and we need to take him out. His cute antenna be damned. He hits hard, but only hits one target and is pretty quick to take down. But instead of dying, he flies away. No worry, we'll just hunt him down. But before we do, we are stopped by Secrus, and we hear about his insidious plan. See, he's the one responsible for this mess. He's been keeping these birds in this cave, but they've gotten out of control and ate all the villagers' food. The villagers want to attack the birds, but Secrus thought if the birds killed the hunters, the villagers would be too scared to stop them. Disgusted by Secrus, Chaz tells him to leave. When questioned about what we will do with the birds, they are still out there, Chaz says that's a problem for another day, and we leave unsatisfied. The twist here of Secrus hiring the hunters only for them to die to scare the townsfolk raises this one to the top of good. Mission 8. The Silver Soldier. This is the last mission, so let's hope it's a good one. The people of Zima are getting nervous. There are machines roaming around their town, not entering it, not yet anyway. We accept the quest and we're off, and immediately as we enter the town, we are attacked by 3 robots. They are easily defeated, but this is a problem. We think the robots are trying to get into Birth Valley and its gooey robot insides. Ren thinks the robots might just be after him, but the robots don't live long enough for us to find out. After talking to the townsfolk, we hear these robots are coming from the northeast, and we're off. As we enter Valhall Fort, great name by the way, Demi calls us to tell us that the plate system was attacked by a sophisticated intelligence. What a convenience all these attacks are happening at the same time. As we investigate the fort and its twists and turns, we uncover Ren's ultimate equipment and abilities. Eventually, we confront Daughter, poor confused Daughter. She believes that she is the protector of the Algo system, and is attempting to purge any dangerous AI that is not under her control. We try to reason with her, telling her that she's not actually connected to anything, and that Ren is the one now in control. Well, Daughter can't have that and attacks with some pretty weak robots. Okay, they aren't that weak, but for the last mission in the game, I expected more. We can even instant kill them using Ren's spark. After her defeat, we shut her down as she ponders if humanity will be able to strive on their own without her controlling the weather. Ren says they've been fine so far, a stark warning of our own future. This mission is loaded with story, by far the most of any mission, and that's what's going to carry it here, since the dungeon and the boss are just okay, but as a whole, this one is great. I've wanted to make this video for a very long time. I know it's niche, but as I said earlier, the missions for some reason mean a lot to me. To recap our list, as always, I can't gush enough about the Sandworm fight, as it's on top in Legendary. The final mission to deal with Daughter is alone in Great. Then we've got a bunch in Good, King Rappy in the lead, followed by the Fractus, then Rocky, the Dying Boy, and the Prison Ladies, leaving the Lost Student all alone in Fine. At this point, I'm probably out of Phantasy Star 4 content, but I haven't even touched the other 3 games in the series. Have a good one, thanks for watching, Leave a like or a subscribe if you enjoyed yourself, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.